master plan. The total is not to exceed $168,000. Brendan, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How y'all doing? Just want to briefly go over this item. This is for a professional services contract with TTL for $168,000. I do want to note that this is a not to exceed. It may not fully reach that amount, but that is what our estimate on the high end would be. Budgeted in the River District Fund. Brief overview of some of the services. This would complete, we do have some survey of the area, but this would complete the full survey for the area, integrate some of our data as well. Geotechnical services, including environmental. This is for the whole park area, so do keep that in mind. Civil services, which I know Ms. Day and Kentuck would be excited about for a layout, and also identifying new parking in that area as well, which I think would benefit the River Market and also Kentuck. And then some architectural services with Ward Scott and TTL in combination for compliance with the Alabama Historical Commission, just to make sure appropriate reviews are done for the interior of that building. It is on the National Register. I want to make sure we're compliant on that. These services don't all have to be completed at the same time. You will see them pop out some different sections. Kentuck has some exciting events, kind of more pop-up style events planned for after their festival as we reach the fall. Let them highlight some of that as time kind of ripens and matures. But we do have some exciting stuff coming up this quarter of the year. Happy to answer any questions on the contract. We do have Mr. Crawford from TTL here if you have any questions, and also representatives from Kentuck.
Hey, Brendan, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask you briefly,
Yes,
time frame probably to get this done.
We will move quickly with the architectural services. I could see 6 to 9 months once you get through full geotech environmental. We're going to find the pieces, Counselor. I'd say survey, geotech, some of that we can pop out a little bit faster. Architectural could move a little faster. The overall plan itself will have to have full data back, if we need a phase 2, if there's additional environmental testing. So, 6 months. We're going to move as fast as possible.
Sure.
I do see some elements moving much quicker, particularly the architectural side.
When you say the entire park, does that include the portion on the east side of Queen City Avenue coming down the hill? And I mean, roughly that's bounded by the power line coming down on the east, and then the old railroad bed running east-west to the south.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that whole area?
Yes, sir, and it's actually playing off of one of your comments from a beautification of the area. The park was built with WPA funds back many years ago, and it has a very interesting and rich history. One of the things we're going to work with Mr. Crawford to do is go in, identify some selective clearing, really kind of have those trails kind of more cleared out, identify some of the old masonry elements, have those a little bit more visible for visitors coming through, and really kind of signage, lighting upgrades, security camera upgrades, placement, line of sight, all of those elements. So it actually too kind of cradles the back of the library park property as well. Right. So we'll be looking for opportunities in there as well, just to clean it up, really from the top of the hill to the bottom. We see it as a gateway entrance both to campus and into downtown, the riverfront areas on both ends. So we will be going up the hill, Counselor, for lack of a better way to put it. Ms. Skinner, any comments you want to have or add, just since you're here, I noticed?
Just want to say thank you so much for considering this and this new partnership with the city of Tuscaloosa and our footprint at Queen City. I think this beautification effort is really going to add a lot to it. And also, as y'all may remember, we have a little tiny event coming up in October, the Kentucky Festival of the Arts on October 19th and 20th. And I brought a package for mayor and council and anyone else you'd like to include in that for y'all to come enjoy it. Give that to you.
Thank you so much
for the partnership.
This is going to be a really great project.
Absolutely. Other questions? Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Council.
Item number 1 is approved. Item number 2 is approval of professional services contract with John B. Galloway for bridge inspection and related services. The total is $66,900. Selvin.
Thank you. Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
This is a professional service contract that will provide the efforts necessary for our annual bridge inspection work. This year we have 30 structures that are up for inspection. Those are due to be turned in report-wise to the state by the end of November. So we generally jump on this at the first part of our budget cycle to get this work done. It is, again, provided by John B. Galloway. He's been helping us with these services for several years now. The total amount of this is $66,900, and it is budgeted in our operations.
Questions?
So I hate to ask this, but I gotta know. Does this include the Veterans Parkway Bridge?
The pedestrian bridge?
Yeah.
No, sir.
All right, how,
It was analyzed under separate.
separate contract?
Yes.
What about the 15th Street Bridge on, before you get to ML?
It does include that bridge.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, I have no other questions.
So moved.
Second.
Moving second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 2 is approved. Item number 3 is approval of a minor public works contract with L&D Moore Contracting for construction of a pedestrian crosswalk across Rice Valley Road, total not to exceed $99,570. Mike, you have a special
Good
introduction
afternoon.
first.
Just kind of break away from the agenda just for a second. Councilors, Mayor, pleased to announce the newest addition to the Office of the City Engineer, Ms. Laura Bierkamp. She comes by way of Dothan, a graduate of the University of Alabama. She's had her engineering license in Oregon since 2011. Her Alabama PE since 2012. She has about 10 years of experience in project management and also with residential design, stormwater design, and also some municipal water systems. And we are so pleased to have her join our team.
We got
Well, congratulations.
Welcome, Laura.
Sinkhole remedy experience.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Welcome.
Thank y'all for letting me
Welcome.
introduce you.
Thank you, Mike. Brett? You want to step up?
Good afternoon.
As mentioned, we're looking to approve a minor public works contract with Lee Moore. This is for the pedestrian crossing at North Ridge Road in Rice Valley. This is a not-to-exceed contract for $99,570.
Northridge Road and Rice Valley. Where's
Yeah,
that?
right near Burner, right down the road from Burner and
This is where we're talking.
fire
Burner's
station.
just north.
Oh, okay.
This is a district project that I had, when we had district funds, I don't know, a year or two ago. This has been in process for more than a year, I guess, hadn't it, Mike? Ish. So it's a, Brett can say this, but it's really a plan to upgrade the pedestrian safety in that whole area because there's a crosswalk there that's needs some help. I mean, I think it's a terrible line of sight coming over that hill, and a lot of parents with kids who are walking or riding bikes to school have been real concerned about that. So we're trying to address that. Going to kind of redo that intersection to make it more pedestrian friendly and bike and walking and everything else, right, Brad?
Correct.
So you
Yeah.
go on and add on to what else needs to be.
Essentially, there's existing striped medians that we'll replace with concrete medians and have 88 ramps to get across the road. There will also be push button signal indicators and pedestrian phasing.
Yeah. How long is this going to take, Brett? Once we get started,
We have a
probably?
30-day contract. Lee told me it'd probably take, he'd be out of the road within 2 to 3 weeks.
That's pretty good.
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brett. Item number 3 is approved. Item number 4 is approval of a professional services agreement with McGifford and Associates for the Northern Riverwalk Phase 2 project. The total is $747,840. Clint, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. So this project, we're connecting the Randall Family Park Trailhead to the upcoming McWright's pedestrian bridge. It's going to go up along the Black Warrior River. I got a few slides. Here's the overview of the route. And a little zoomed in. Here's some conceptual plans for it. But the project will include a 12-foot wide asphalt riverwalk along with 6 pedestrian bridges with lighting and security cameras. Professional service agreement includes a survey. One thing on the survey is we're wanting to provide the topo map to the engineering to McGifford to help with engineering costs. We're going to work with Tuscaloosa Police Department with their drone LiDAR equipment to help with that cost. Some other services they'll include is a permitting with the U.S. Army Corps, geotechnical investigation, preliminary design, final design, and some cost estimates. It's District 3 right there. The project schedule is about 11 months for the engineering services, and then we plan to start in the fall of 2025. Start construction then.
Clint, that's exciting to be able to work toward phase 2 of this. I know the public has really, in the district and the public have really enjoyed the Northern Riverwalk phase 1, and it's kind of a
What's the total length?
It's how long is it gonna be?
9,600, that's about 1.8 miles.
Yeah, it's almost 2 miles. And this should if everything goes according to plan, this will probably happen the year after McWright's Ferry Road opens, right?
I believe so, yes, sir.
Ish. So you'll have McWright's Ferry Road, then you'll have a way to be connected, and hopefully we can talk about getting the Woolsey Fennell stuff
So
worked out where you
what's the
can
bright
end up
blue?
downtown, Mr. Mayor. Hope so.
What's the bright blue there?
That is a proposed access route to the middle of that walkway, the Riverwalk. So there's the Gates of Wellington. I can back it up.
Across the road, Gates of Wellington. It'd be a place to park, wouldn't it? Yeah. That's right across from Gates. Questions? Any other?
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 4 is approved. Item number 5 is approval of a balancing change order to the contract with John Plott Company for the pedestrian bridge over Jack Warner Parkway project. The deductive total is $172,767.78. Josh, welcome.
Welcome, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yeah, so essentially the scope of this project was a shared use path. It's approximately a quarter of a mile long, connecting the pedestrian bridges and the pedestrian bridge over Jack Warner Parkway. It included bridge lighting, path lighting, some storm drainage upgrades, as well as landscape and irrigation. It's a deductive change order, as we mentioned, there's $172,767.78.
Questions?
The so when it says here the 70,562.
That's the next one.
That's the next one. What brings about the deductive order, you wonder?
We value engineered the lighting and the handrail, and had some unexpected geotech things that weren't needed in excavation.
Okay.
Basically,
Motion.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 5 is approved. Item number 6, approval of a balancing change order to the contract with John Plott Company for the Build Western Riverwalk project. The total is $70,562.94.
yeah. So essentially, the scope of this project as well was another park with a shared use path that included bathroom renovations, newly constructed playground equipment, parking lot and park entrance, resurfacing, path lighting, security infrastructure, as well as additional improvements to storm drainage and landscape and irrigation. This path is approximately 0.8 of a mile long. When it's connected with the temporary Western Riverwalk path, that's about 1.1 miles in length. It's an additive of $70,562.94.
Questions?
An additive change. Yeah. So we netted 100 between the two.
Yes, sir. So moved.
Second.
Move to second. All in favor say aye.
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 Item number 6 is approved. Item number 7 is approval of a minor public works contract with Control Systems for elevator fire service certification. Total is $2,474. Tim, welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
So this is associated with the ongoing elevator work right out here in Annex 1. And this is to recertify the fire service for the 2 new elevators that are currently being installed, and it's funded by the City Hall Improvements Fund, the same account that's funding the elevator replacement.
Questions?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 7 is approved. Item number 8 is approval of a minor public works contract with Tusco for purchase and installation of a fence at 2800 Jack Warner Parkway. The total is $11,238. Craig, welcome.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Location on this is the parking lot, just west of the amphitheater, right there next to lift station number 3. Some folks call it the trestle lot, right there. Currently, we have an orange construction fence that kind of keeps people from going from that parking lot through the ditch, under the train trestle, and over to the amphitheater. And we're going to replace that with a fence similar to, or just like what's in the front of that parking lot.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 8 is approved. Item number 9 is approval of a minor public works contract with Civil Works Construction for repairs to low-pressure sewer system. The total is not to exceed $50,000. Mr. Gurney, welcome.
Yes, sir. This is for what it says, if we get a break up there at the North River Yacht Club low pressure system, we'll call Civil Works out and, they'll make the repair. The contract is for a year. We have options to renew for 2 more years. The funding is water, sewer, RFFI. We're using the funds that, were provided when we acquired the system.
So this is money coming from what Westervelt provided us?
Right. Yep.
Okay, so it's coming out of that, it's fine. Questions?
So
Entertain a motion.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Item number 9 is approved. Item number 10 is approval of a minor public works contract with Eat My Beats for purchase and installation of new audiovisual equipment in municipal court. The total is $38,254. Jessica, welcome.
Thank you. So this would be a contract with Eat My Beats to replace all of the audio-visual recording and the displays within the courtroom, which have not been updated in quite a while. So we'll just bring everything up with wireless and Bluetooth capabilities.
How long, Jessica, is that gonna take? Update.
From what they said, it would be around a 5-day straight project.
Okay.
So we're looking at over Christmas break if approved.
Okay. So it won't impede court proceedings?
No, it will not. We'll schedule it around court.
Questions?
Motion.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 10 is approved. Item number 11 is authorization for the mayor to enter into an agreement with Verta Technologies to provide professional and technical services related to an LED video wall system for the Mercedes-Benz amphitheater. The total is not to exceed $741,219.33. Ms. Kay, welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So this is a request for a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Verta Technologies for our LED video wall system not to exceed $741,219.33. This is budgeted out of the River District Fund. This is to install 2 permanent LED walls at the amp. It includes a 5-year warranty. It's high resolution, larger size. And for your reference, the big screens at Bryant-Denny Stadium, inside the stadium, these are the same product. We went over there, looked at them, really talked to them about how pleased they were with it, the maintenance, reliability, etc. And they loved the product. They spoke very highly of it.
Looks good.
They'll be bigger. Oh, not than what's in Bryant-Denny,
Oh.
than what we currently have.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I wish. That's my next. That's my next ask.
Questions for Ms. Kay?
She's putting an upper deck on the amphitheater. Yeah.
Did you say I can?
That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That was good.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. Aye. Item 11 is approved. Item number 12 is approval of a contract with Kiffin Recreation for a new playground and surfacing equipment for the Benjamin Barnes YMCA project. The total is $99,253.46. Lee, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Just as it says, this is a request for approval for the furnish and install of new playground equipment for the Benjamin Barnes YMCA project with Giffen Recreation. It also includes new surfacing, which will be a seamless rubber surface, play surface to walk on.
That's good.
Go ahead, sir.
That's great.
I think I have it
I'm
covered.
gonna make a motion or second one or the other. I just want to say, in Nashville at Shelby Park, they've got a fantastic kids playground, and it's mud and sticks and water. And I will volunteer our Shelby Park to be the experiment. The kids love it. The parents hate it, but the kids are playing in that.
Playing in mud.
Okay, no. So Jeff, this is coming out of the savings. We had a considerable savings on the inside equipment purchase, right?
We saved just shy of 300,000 on the initial FF&E proposal. So I would guess that this would be coming out
This
of
is,
that.
I was gonna say, this is coming out of that, I would think. And it like,
Package, yes, sir. Yes, it's coming
and
out.
part of the FF&E,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
So it's part of the
Motion.
FF&E.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 12 is approved. Item number 13 is a lighting recommendation for 4th and 23rd District. Mike?
Good afternoon, council.
Good afternoon.
So this is a recommendation to do improvements for lighting on 4th Street, 23rd in this vicinity. These facilities are owned by the Alabama Power Company. So this recommendation is to work with them, and the recommendation includes upgrades of some existing poles. If you'll look on the map there, the items in yellow, the dots in yellow, those are existing lights that Alabama Power Company is going to change the fixture out on. So it's a better lumen, it's a brighter intensity of light. The red dots represent new poles that they're going to install, and there's 7 of those. 13 lights they're going to upgrade, and 7 of new poles. And then there's a few that are not changed. But this is all in an effort to enhance the lighting in this area. We have a lot of pedestrian traffic. The cost on this recommendation from Alabama Power is $47,697.70. That's the upfront cost, basically covering the new poles and the new fixture upgrades. And then we're looking at a monthly increase in our lighting bill of around $531.
They're not charging us to better light up their facility, are they?
Well, we
Get
got
further down.
pedestrians that walk in front of that, so,
There are, that's true.
yeah.
And we talked about that, Mike. I appreciate you.
Mike, how do we come up with this is where to put these new lines?
This is Alabama Power's plan. So they own all of these facilities here. The other option that we would have would be to look at doing our standard street lighting, and the cost would be exorbitant to remove all of their poles and put our poles in. You know, you would be talking probably $30,000 a pole, maybe more by the time you did engineering design, new conduit. The light poles that we purchase are in the roughly $20,000 range, and unfortunately, there's typically a lead time on something like that to get the materials here 6 to 8 months at
What are the
best.
blue dots?
The blue dots are the lights that did not need any modification.
Okay, yellow, they're changing the lighting in the existing poles, red are the new poles.
Yes, sir. Yeah. They identified where there were dark areas that needed a new pole, and then the lights that they could enhance just the lumen of are the yellow ones. And then let me give you so the photo on the left is the image, that's the poles that are there today. And they'll be replaced with or the new pole will be the one on the right.
Okay. And you said our portion of the tab is 47?
We pay the upfront cost to Alabama Power anytime we do this, no matter what part of the city it's in. We pay the upfront cost of that equipment. And then they own it and maintain it, and then we pay the power bill.
Mike?
Motion.
Second.
Can I ask a question before I call a vote? Mike, does this have was any of this looked at in that lighting study that we did? Did any of this come back as I mean, are we checking some boxes on the lighting study that we
I
have?
think this area was excluded from our
Right.
master plan.
It was?
I think
I mean, this is a great place to be lighting up. I mean,
it is,
I think
and it
will
needs
make a
it.
big difference.
It needs it, certainly does.
Okay. Now we got a motion second on the table. All in favor say aye. Aye. Item number 13 is approved. Item number 14 is a discussion of the potential closing of Julia Tutwiler Drive as part of the Woolsey Fennell Bridge project on State Highway 82. Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir, and, Mr. Tyner here.
hopefully he's gonna be back, but
Well, Mr. Tyner and I talked about this issue, late last week, and we both felt it was important that we get this to a more formal stage of discussion with the city council in hopes of passing a resolution that would put the city on record of encouraging access on Julia Tutwiler Drive. I'm gonna ask Mr. Gardner in a second to walk you through a presentation that shows you why we're concerned about the potential closing of this drive. It's really threefold. One is just the access of businesses, church, school, et cetera, that will be impeded if it's closed. This impacts emergency response in the area. The second part of that closure would also impact future commercial development in that area. This is a commercial development corridor that we think could grow the city's tax base in the future. ALDOT, this project is being designed out of Montgomery. Certainly we have voiced these concerns to the local office, but ultimately these decisions will be driven in the Montgomery office. We would like to put the council, if it's agreeable after seeing the presentation from Mr. Gardner, to pass a resolution and then have me send a copy of that resolution to the governor, ALDOT director, our legislative delegation, and also our congressional delegation as well, which includes our two senators, Ms. Sewell and Mr. Adderholt. We're at the point now where we really have to make our concerns known about this. Once this is done by ALDOT, it will be impossible for us to put the genie back in the bottle. And this will have major ramifications. So at this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Gardner, if you would, to walk through what's being proposed and also touch on the access issues that I referenced.
So today, if y'all are familiar with this, you know, you can leave Julia Tutwiler there in front of Baumhauer's, the access to the school, and you can access McFarland. Secondly, you can leave McFarland and get to Julia Tutwiler. So that's what this map is indicating. This is our current scenario, our current conditions. Now you may have to hit that icon for me. We've got a little video that should play if you'll double click on that. Is it not working? Not gonna work.
You may have to come out presentation mode and then use the mouse to click on it.
So we can work around it if we need to. We had a little video visual that we put together. Let's just go ahead and skip that. So let me point out on this map here, what you see in blue is the proposed improvements, the changes that ALDOT is proposing. And then what's existing today, you can see the exits that lead to Julia Tutwiler have a crosshatch pattern on it. So that's the existing condition today that's getting modified and shown in blue. Basically what they're doing is they're moving the westbound exit that would take you to Julia Tutwiler. They're moving it a little bit farther west, and then not allowing it to connect to Julia Tutwiler, but connecting to the access road right there in front of the magnet school that then carries you down to Campus Drive.
So if you were coming down 82 and you wanted to go to Baumhauer's or Hampton Inn or University Church of Christ, Pop Strokes, etc. You would have to go all the way down to the 82 Jack Warner Parkway interchange, take the exit, get on Jack Warner Parkway, and then hit Helen Keller
To come back.
to come back.
Well, you
Or
could,
get off
you
Campus
could,
Drive.
you
Get on
could,
Campus
you could
Drive,
get
yeah.
off on Campus Drive, Mayor. I wish I
That's
had a
still
pointer.
inconvenient.
So you have to go to campus to Helen Keller. Or it
Yeah,
was a big.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
This is Campus Drive, and Jack Warren would be further down. So, you know, they're taking this that's here today and they're shifting it here. And likewise, they're doing the same thing here. By moving this down, they've eliminated the access to Julia Tutwiler. I think this next slide is gonna represent, so there's the demolition and the proposed, just labeled for you.
Well, excuse me.
Yes.
if I may. What is their reasoning for this? I mean, obviously, they must think it's better.
In the public involvement meeting that several of us attended, the reasoning that we were given, and also in a subsequent meeting that we met with the engineers at their local office there, they issued safety concerns. They were doing this for safety reasons.
Have we had a high number of accidents there?
We can't find any.
Mike, would it be crazy if you did what they're doing, but then you still had something that came off right of that goes straight to Julia Tutwiler? What's wrong with that? Because that doesn't make any sense.
So I agree with you that
I wish we could see that video.
Do you still get off at University Boulevard to go east-west?
yes, sir.
So if you want to go to Julia Tutwiler, you have to get off at University,
On the
go
Helen
up,
Keller,
go
right?
east, and then turn left.
You would think that if their argument was that there were crashes caused by either exiting McFarland to get off to Campus Drive or Tutwiler, or the crashes were caused by access off of the access road. That street doesn't have a name, but it's where you could get back on, leave Campus Drive, come up toward the front of the magnet school, and then get back on McFarland. If there were crashes caused because of those two movements, they've not eliminated either of those.
Right.
It doesn't seem to have any bearing on whether or not Tutwiler connects to that or not. But ultimately, if this is what's ended up being constructed, then the two options that you have, and these are just visuals from their website as to what the finished product would basically look like. Your only two options are to get off at University Boulevard, or here you get off and you go down to Campus Drive.
Come back.
You hang a right, you go to the Ed Love Treatment Plant, basically, turn back on Helen Keller, and you make a big loop.
This is gonna cut down on their business down there. I mean, a lot.
Absolutely.
Well, it also will, it will stop or inhibit future growth. I mean, if
Sure.
you start looking at, there's still property there to be developed. That is very undesirable, I would think, but it really is gonna hurt those existing businesses.
Or you're gonna have to get off here at University Boulevard and go down and then turn left on
A
Helen
little
Keller.
more inconvenient. I mean,
Correct.
that's-
And it adds driving time and turns and so on. So to me, that seems more dangerous than what you had in the first place.
Mike, what's as far as we know, what is the public comments have been made? This is still, I guess, the final whatever is under review. What's the time frame on this decision being made, probably, or on the final document? And then when that final document is made, I mean, the decision, I'm saying, after these, do we still have the right to go back and kind of, do they hear comments again that this is what they're saying, to look back at this then, or how does that work?
I don't know that I can answer that completely, I think there's gonna come a time when they're not gonna take any more comments. They're not gonna review any more alternates or suggestions.
But we're also under a time crunch with the grant from the federal government to do this bridge too, right? I mean,
That's,
there's a time that,
As far as we have been told that.
Yeah.
So that's as what we've been told by AlDOT.
was that money sent to AlDOT from Washington?
It's my understanding it came through an appropriation from Senator Shelby. My feeling is, this is a feeling, not a fact, so you have to take it with a grain of salt, is that once they come out with plans from the Montgomery office, because they've had the public input period, it's going to be very difficult at that point to get anything changed. That's why I think it's really important the city send a message now about our public safety concerns, about our economic development concerns, and quite frankly, just the convenience of motorists. As Mr. Gardner stated, and I saw Mr. Moore's over there and he might want to add to it, we were initially told that the accidents at that intersection is what prompted this change. We went back, reviewed the accident data. We're just not seeing what they stated was their reason for doing this. So I would encourage us to get something out as soon as possible, letting the state know that the city of Tuscaloosa has concerns. Again, sending it to the governor, send it directly to AlDOT director, our delegation, in hopes that can continue conversations with us to find what is best for the state and what's best for our churches, our local businesses, and our school. Mr. Moore, you want to?
I'm going to jump over the map. It's a little bit easier. Mr. Gardner referenced the meeting with the design engineer out of Montgomery. They were unable to provide any data. Councilor Fail, to your question about the safety issues or traffic crashes, still have yet to receive any data. It's actually fascinating to see foreign AlDOT engineers not agree on doing this. The local engineers actually do not support this plan, or at least what was indicated in the meeting. Heard someone else allude to, we have a lot of vacant property in the area. The property owner has really been judicious in making sure that they find the most appropriate and best uses for the area, which we obviously appreciate from an economic development perspective. 12 years been working directly with economic development. People want access to this area because of the access from McFarland. If that is taken away, it will definitely damage the businesses that are there, and it will essentially minimize or eliminate the value of the existing property. You tie that back into the discussions we were having pre-council. We need to preserve as much of our commercial property as we can, particularly the entertainment-centric uses. You don't digitize Pop Stroke, for example. You go there and play. That's not something you do online. So these are important considerations we do need to make as we move forward. Liz and I have been working this area. Mr. Tyler is here. We have a lot of interest from other users, but they're going to monitor this situation. If they see a change, they're immediately off the table. The other thing I would like to point out is your type of users. You've got a mix of land uses here. You've got faith-based, you have a school, you have lodging, you have a restaurant, and you have entertainment. At least 3 of those are ones where you can make an impulse decision. You may need a hotel room really quick. You may decide to grab some wings and go for putt-putt, right? That's what that exit's for. Eliminating that from a motorist standpoint, it's down to a science. You're basically eliminating their ability to have that impulse decision. Yes, sir.
Make sure I heard this right. Did you say that the engineering firm that's being used for this, what did you say about that? They disagreed?
The local AlDOT engineers, I don't think were in full agreement with the Montgomery design engineer on actually closing, which was a very interesting discussion.
Is this the same Montgomery designing engineer that's done such a wonderful job on 82 on my side of the river?
I cannot speak to that, but the way they operate it, I would have to think there has to be some overlap.
Because that might be a good point to ask them how many millions of dollars the state's going to have to spend to fix their screw up.
And in fairness to our staff as well, in that process, we offered, Ms. Kreitz was there, I don't know if she's in this room currently, Mr. Gardner, a couple other people were in the room. We offered, as we were going through the framework update, do we need to modify something from a land use perspective and working with the property owner to limit trips, to maybe limit the congestion? Nothing was acceptable. So our team even brought ideas to the table to try to reduce congestion, make it a safer kind of place for motorists. from a land use perspective, that was immediately dismissed. So I guess farmland apparently is what they desire in there, because that's what will happen.
The connection to this though on the other side, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this one more time, because people are calling me about why 82 is not finished. That's not a good look for AlDOT either, whoever they hired to do all of that, because this project should have been finished a long time ago. So to me, their credibility is kind of at stake as part of what's going on with this.
And look, in those meetings, if someone slides over an Excel spreadsheet to me that shows here's, number of crashes over the last 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, where it's compelling, you have to have a different discussion. We're months later and still have no information. So I feel like if you're making this substantial of a decision, you need to have more justification to back it up.
You should have local input.
This is tax base, jobs, access. I mean, it's a variety of things going on just in this one area. And then once again, from the SSUT perspective, this is a natural user base that would be probably more entertainment, restaurant type driven, just to the types of users, proximity to campus. So for us, having a sites that are attractive from a tax base perspective is very desirable.
And we will have to live with this decision. They won't.
Yes, sir. Right. And that gets cut.
That's
Mr. Bailey, your comment, your revenues will go like that. We've seen it in other areas. We saw it on the Lurleen project. You could see documented losses just even through the construction, let alone cutting an actual access point off.
And Mr. Pell, if I can, I know Mr. Tyner wanted this to be touched on, and I certainly agree with him on this. We have a school and we have one of our largest utility plants right there. If this goes into being, you're delaying emergency response potentially a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes. That may not sound like a lot, but with a school, a large utility plant, I think having these accesses prove beneficial to the community today. And there's no reason why this should be. There's been no stated reason beyond there's accidents without data for closing it. If we're going to limit our response times, then I think there needs to be a compelling reason. And so my goal again is by us making this statement, we're emphatically saying this is important to us. Please listen, and we hope that they will.
As a committee, I mean, I know we're not voting on anything, but do y'all have any problem with us?
I don't have any problem
I think we
sending a
need
draft.
to do
I think we should do this.
Have a resolution drawn up.
Yeah,
as soon
absolutely.
as possible.
Council look at.
As soon as possible.
With
Mike,
your-
thank you for your presentation.
With your permission, we will have a resolution drafted and send it to you this week, and potentially, if you're in agreement, put it on the city council agenda so that we could go ahead and get that letter to the important stakeholders as soon as possible. Thank you.
Any other comments? Is there any other business to be brought before this committee today? Our next Public Projects Committee meeting will be next Tuesday, October the 8th. Do I can I hear an entertain a motion to adjourn? I can't talk.